So would we say we're awesome or average? Awesome. Deadly. Now, which one are we driving? Are we all in an Aston Martin or in a Fiat? Right? Because that has something to do with what you believe about yourself, your outcomes. Now, which one are you aiming for? Who here is actually thinking about that Aston Martin? Who here can see their initials on the number plates? Seriously, that's what we need to be doing. And we have one here with the number plates in mind. Excellent. What have they got that you don't? Do they look any different to any of us? Because I don't think so, right? So if you met any of them and you didn't know who they were, and I didn't have some writing on this, what would you think? Pretty average, right? So why isn't one of us up there? And how do we know we don't have someone like that sitting beside us in this room today? Because I can tell you we can have. It just takes a bit of work on the self-mastery and self-belief. Okay? Just a wee example, right? I want you to try and see, can you compare yourself here and test yourself? Why aren't you Mark Zuckerberg? Right? He was 19 and he founded Facebook. He wasn't born with Facebook. He was a kid like the rest of us. He was reared like the rest of us. And he did all sorts of stuff with his life. Okay? Then we have Catherine Cook. She did my yearbook when she was 15 with her brother. What's stopping any of us doing that? And then we have the guys from Stripe, who are a massive inspiration to all of us, or should be, right? And what I want us to do here today is start to wonder, why is that not us? Because you see the value of Mark Zuckerberg, right? So 61.7 billion US dollars. But a lot of that is going back to charity. That's the message in this stuff, right? Because everywhere I go, I find people with self-limiting beliefs. We believe that we should be humble. We believe that we shouldn't want more. And we end up living week to week, month to month, trying to pay bills. Now, that's not awesome. That's fairly average, right? And what I want to do with you today, and what you used to do for yourself, is see where is your awesome. And then we start seeing how we get you there. Because if you don't aim for something, you're going to stay with the average. You will coast. And you will do what you see around you. Right? So this is a bit about, it's a pause on your life today. Do what you want with it. Do nothing if you want. But if you want to do something with it, I will give you the little starting points here. We'll sow seeds today. He's talked about gambling earlier. This woman really impresses me. She's 51 and she set up Bet365. She's worth 3.9 billion. And she got a business loan of RBS, which I worked for. So why did she do that and why did we not? Right? Now, would you expect a woman of that age group to be setting up a gambling site and turning herself into such a rich person? Probably not, right? And the point is, what is stopping all of us in this room? Right, Warren Buffett. Again, it's just to see, why do you think it's not you? And do you think you're aiming for that kind of thing? Or you might be aiming for average? Or are you aiming for anything? Have you even thought about it? And again, take pictures of these if you want and look these up, right? Because success is repeatable. All of this inspiration is on your Google that sits in your pocket, in your phone. And is that what you're using your phone for? Are you trying to push yourself out of your comfort zone? Or are you sitting scrolling looking at people's dinners? Because that's what I know people are at. And that's going to keep you in that average bracket, right? I want us to start thinking differently here. To say, think outside the box. Well, I'm telling you, there is no box. There isn't a box, right? Self-limiting beliefs, into the bin with them. They have no place in this room or in your head from here on in. Who is this guy? Yay, Walt Disney, right? So he has turned a mouse into $1 million industry. So if he can turn a mouse into it, I think you lot can do a wee bit of self-belief. Think about it. We all go to Euro Disney. We just take that for granted. We all go to it and we all talk about it and we take kids and we do whatever. And that's what he did. He decided he was going to make a mouse famous one day and he did it. Right? So all you have to do is believe in yourself. Surely that's easier. Yeah? So, valuable you. Your value. Have you ever thought about this? Are you achieving your full potential, would you say? Because I do a hell of a lot of coaching, folks. And I rarely find people that are, which is why I'm here, trying to see can I get the masses educated on this stuff, just to sow those seeds for you and let you do what you want with it. Your value to your company, your society, and to your family. Do you think you're valued properly for what you can do? Maybe do they even know what your potential is or what you're capable of? Would you say there's room for improvement there? There normally is, right? There's normally a whole load of room for improvement there. A lot of people are going for average because they're fitting in, right? We don't want any of that. We want to be aiming for awesome. Are you achieving maximum positive impact? Think of what you do day to day, week to week. In your workplace, are you achieving maximum positive impact? Probably not, right? I'd say you could be doing more. In your homes, in your lives, are you achieving maximum positive impact? With everybody I sit down with to coach, I find buckets of potential in them that they're not even using, that they don't even know they have yet. Your vision. A vision is a very important thing. And you might think, oh, my vision, I'm going on holidays this year. That's not the vision I'm talking about, right? The vision is your goals, your career, and your life. What are they? Have you thought about those? Have you written them out anywhere? Have you drawn them out anywhere? Because we think in pictures and words. If you haven't got a vision, then you're coasting. And that is going to finish you up with the average life. Your passion and your legacy. Have you ever thought about your legacy before? It's a big word. People usually go, holy Jesus, legacy. Big stuff here. I'm telling you, right? There's no point in you thinking about your legacy when your life is nearly over. You still have a hope to change that. So what is your legacy going to be? What are they going to say about you? What are people going to feel when your life is almost finished? What will you have done? Because I'm telling you, you're only here once. And it's high time we started this stuff. Don't sit and keep coasting. Because your legacy, I can nearly make it up at this stage. Right? We've all listened to all the legacies, and she was a great mother and she was a great banker. Not, right? They're not going to say that about you. You've got to do something with your communities and your world around you. You've got to make impact and change. We're all here, we can all do that. Because I find potential and skills and talent in everybody, and it's so underutilised. Be the change you want to see. So the fastest way to find what you can do differently is be the change that you want to see. What annoys you? Is the fastest way to find this, right? And I did this years ago. I was on maternity leave. And I was sitting and I was nearly at the end of the maternity leave and I thought, Jesus Christ, I'm going to go back to a bank. I was in a bank at the time and I thought they really needed to work harder on their digital journey. But nobody seemed to be doing it, right? And I decided, frig it, I'm going to get stuck into this. Because somebody somewhere said, there was a quote, be the change you want to see. And sometimes quotes will do these things for you. But only if you're switched on and you're focused and you're thinking about awesome. Then you start to spot these things and it'll start to feed you and it'll spark you. Right? So I got stuck into hackathons. I became a bit of a social media whiz because I did hackathons. Because I was frustrated, the place I was working on, I didn't think we're doing enough on digital. So the easiest way for you to find something that you can do is what is annoying you, right? If it's the workplace, what do you think if you were the CEO of this place, what would you do? Imagine I have a CEO hat and I hand it to you and you're now it. What would you do differently? Do you think you have the right products? Is doing enough in the markets? Could you be better in some way? Or what's the frustrations at the grassroots? Because I'm telling you now, rather than sit waiting on someone else to fix these, just do it yourself. Nobody will stop you, let me tell you. Because I get into all sorts of stuff everywhere I've worked. Right, your success depends on you mastering the following. But I am telling you now, no matter who I coach, whether it's business owners, CEOs, whether it's somebody in work, whether it's career coaching I end up doing, I coach people online, I'm at all sorts of stuff. And this is what I find everywhere. So fear of failure. God forbid that we'd get it wrong. We'll not do it just in case, right? And we close off opportunities and we close doors constantly. And if I sat down with any one of you, I bet you, I could trail back through your career and your life and I could find loads of decisions and things you've done that I can directly relate to the fear, right? And that's from your conditioning. We all have it, but you need to learn what it is so that you can spot it and you can manage it and control it. Fear of change. So people get uncomfortable when things are moving around them and it's uncertain. You've got to get good with that because it's going to keep happening. So change is one thing that is certainly going to keep happening in your life, whether it's in your career or your personal life. Get good at it, because it ain't going to stop. It never will. Fear of the unknown, fairly obvious. Fear of rejection, right? So many people say no to so many opportunities because they might get rejected. They don't even get to the starting base. They close it off just in case they get rejected. Fear of success. That's a weird one. People always go, what? So many people that I work with, I find that they're afraid to do something because what will people think? She's too big for her boots. Who does she think she is, that one? And God forbid that they'd say that. So just in case they do, we won't try. Now that is not logical, folks, right? But that is what we're all at. Your decisions and journey so far has fear featured, because I guarantee it has. Flight or fight principles. You are not in a cave and nobody is going to eat you. And that is a very important one. We needed fear years ago when we were in the cave because it kept us alive. But I can tell you now, you don't need it now. Because I can tell you all it's doing is damage. It's causing you problems in relationships, in works, in careers, the whole lot. You don't need it. So the reason I'm telling you this is you need to start getting good at spotting it. And you need to start ditching it into a bin. Eliminate, eradicate fear altogether, because you're not in the cave, and I'm telling you now, it's not serving you. It'll only do you damage. You need no fear policy with yourself. Your mind. So your thoughts become your actions, and your actions become your reality. So what you think about every day is actually how your life manifests. So that's an easy one, right? We control our thoughts, and we've got this nailed. But so many people are not doing that, and they're not even aware of this. There is 2,500 thoughts running through your mind every hour. And I could tell you that your inner monologue, so what those thoughts are, is how your life outcomes look. So what you have at the moment is because that's what you think you deserve. So what are them thoughts, right? And the other thing I want to tell you about is your subconscious mind. Your emotions, right? So say you get annoyed with somebody, or somebody's really irritated you, and you feel annoyed. Stop and ask yourself, would somebody else be as annoyed as I am? Maybe not, right? And if that's the case, why do I feel like that then? Right? And that'll help you trail back into your subconscious to see what it is you believe in there. There's a wee weakness there that has been triggered. And it's usually, I don't deserve it, or I am not enough. And that is all down to your conditioning. Your mind believes what you're telling it. What are you telling it? Right? I guarantee you, I know what you're telling it, because 99% of our conditioning was quite negative. So in there, in that subconscious mind at the back, so it's a back office computer and it runs every night. And as you sleep every night, it hard codes what it absorbed that day. Now, it's already absorbed bucket loads of negativity from you were a kid. So if you think back to the sort of the wording that was used as you were reared, think of your mum or your dad or whoever your guardian was and the kind of terminology and the language they used, I guarantee you that's the stuff that's running through your head. And if you're a parent, what you're telling your children will become their inner voice when they are older. So be very careful how you speak to them. Because if you want them to go around thinking, oh my God, I'm doing all this wrong and I can't do this, well then that's what they will do. You need to start inputting the positive language into and around your kids now so that they grow up with those beliefs, or they will just repeat. Right, so we want to think about what you are aiming for. What are you aiming for? Have you even thought about this? So what would good look like to you in work? Imagine it's not you, right? Who is it that inspires you? Associates across your company and across your industry. So think outside the company. Think industry-wide. Think business-wide. Think worldwide. Who is it that you go, wow? Right? Are you inspiring or mentoring others, your peers, your leaders, and your junior staff? Because at every company I go into, and I'm in a lot of them, and I find them all thinking about mentoring should be a senior person and a junior person. It should not be. It should be a total mix. The more diverse you can get it, the better it will be. And we all learn from each other. You have listened all day about APIs and Generation X, Y, Z, right? Mix it up. If you have different age groups, get it all mixed. Peer mentoring is better when it's as diverse as you can get it. Leaders create cultures, they do not necessarily follow them. Back to my quote earlier, be the change you want to see. Doesn't matter that that's not the culture here. If you think there's something we could be doing better here as a company, then you start it. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land amongst the stars, right? So aim high, right? Aim worldwide class, because that's the moon. And even if you get close to that, you will be very happy and you'll have an amazing legacy built for yourself, okay? And I just find we're not doing that at all. We're just trying to be good at what we do. That's not where I want us to be, folks, because you'll coast. Awesome and nothing else is allowed, okay? And no fear, hashtag no fear. Those are the takeaways, and you've got to be working on this stuff. What are you doing to include others? People change cultures. Empathy is the magic sauce. Walk in my shoes. Open discussions with colleagues change cultures. And that's a wee bit awkward for some of us. We don't feel that comfortable doing that. But I'm telling you now, that's where the value is in this stuff. Because it's people that runs this organisation, like all the organisations I go into. So it's people that can make it different. Conscious listening and being accepting of others often develops us into powerful leaders and influencers. There's a whole other side of this stuff that people don't often think about, and we're all on about inclusion and diversity. I'm telling you now, if you get into this and you get into this properly and you become an influencer in this, you grow as a leader. My life has changed since I got into D&I. Totally changed. And it's because I wanted to get it right. It was irritating me and I wanted to fix it. And my world has changed. My life has changed. But you'll change, you'll evolve, you'll become a leader and an influencer all around you. At home, in work, everywhere. Online. You will become a better person at home and in work. The human connection. So networking pros. Do we all love the word networking? Because I say that and everyone goes, oh no, she's going to make us talk to each other. Oh no. So if you're networking, right, the pros are people get to know you and what you are capable of, because they won't know that if you don't go out there, right? You've got to be brave, and you're going for awesome now, and hashtag no fear. So people need to know what you're capable of, and they're not going to guess, right? I mean, so many people going, I could do this and I could do that, and if they only ask me. They're not going to ask you, right? Get networking and start helping people to understand what you can do with them. They're not going to guess. I can tell you that now. You might get a chance to help them with the exciting things they're working on, right? So that might sound weird to you, but if you go networking and you start to mix with people and you start to talk to them and you have an elevator pitch ready, you don't know what they're going to start to tell you about the stuff they're working on, and then you can get involved. That's what I was at with all those hackathons. I've been at that with loads of things down through the years. I just go and talk to people, see how I can help them, find out what they're doing, and all sorts of stuff happens. How am I here today? It's because I've been networking with the girls. Right? You meet some lovely new people, because yous are all lovely, right? And I've enjoyed coming here. And if I wasn't networking, I wouldn't be here doing this. And yous wouldn't be meeting me either. You might create a whole new bunch of positive advocates. Right? You go networking and start sharing a bit of your skills and ideas, see who you can help. You will have a whole bunch of new positive advocates. You might enjoy it. Now, the cons. That is not an accident. The slide is blank, right? Because there is no cons to networking. There are none, okay? None. Only good will come out of it. The how-to and the why of networking. Take an interest in others you meet. Open your mind to how different they are to you. Because our differences is our greatest strength. So there's another takeaway for you, right? It's a really handy line to remember. Our differences are our greatest strength. And you need to start practicing that in your head. And you need to start being able to spot it then. How our differences can make us stand out, how we can use that better. Everyone you meet can become a positive or a negative brand ambassador for you. Treat everyone well. I don't care who it is, you just treat everyone well and with respect. Everyone you meet has a lesson they can teach you. Now that is one that I have experienced so many times. I've gone into so many different circles and met so many people, and everybody always gives me a little nugget or a different angle or a different perspective, or they challenge me a little bit on my thinking. And if I don't do that, then I don't get that. And I stay in my closed little box, my closed thinking, and I don't grow. And I don't become an influencer or a leader. Your network should be full of those who inspire you, the big thinkers, the innovators, the fearless. Is it? Now, I want you to think about who the 5 people are that you spend most of your time with, whether that's in work or at home. Because whoever those 5 people are in your network, you are going to get like them. Guarantee you, right? And you mightn't see them all the time, but try and figure out who are those 5 people that you see most of. And do you want to be like them? Right? Often that's not the case. Well, there is choice, yeah. You can control it because you're choosing to spend time with people. And they're influencing, yeah, we can have a chat offline. I have one of them. But they're influencing you and your thought process and your subconscious mind and your conscious mind and the whole lot. Right? And I can't fix it for you, but you can learn how to control that. And then I want you to think about your social media, right? Because people don't think about this, but I was saying it to one of the guys earlier, you're absorbing social media so often every day that it's become one of those 5 people. Right? What on earth are you following? Is it anything that's teaching you to think big? Right? It's probably not. Because I do be watching everybody scrolling. I'm on a train or I'm anywhere and I'm like, see dogs, dinner, cats. And whilst we all need a wee bit of escapism, it's one of the 5 people you're hanging out with. And it's dogs, dinner and cats. So I think we could up that a wee bit, right? There's bucket loads. Google, right, is the best resource I ever found. And it's in your pocket for free. And you open your phone so often, it should be teaching you something every time you scroll. Right? Self-mastery, mind mastery, all of this is free. It's on Google and it's on YouTube. And all you have to do is listen to it and practice it and listen to it and absorb it. That's all you have to do. And every one of you have that for free in your pocket. Now, I want you to think differently when you take that phone out the next time and you just want to escape. I want you to go in a different direction. And I want you going on your Instagram or your Twitters or wherever you're going, and I want you putting hashtags in. And I want you putting in psychology, hashtag psychology, and you'll find loads and loads and loads of different quotes and articles. And I want you putting in positive mental attitude. I want you to put in ambitious and anything else you can think of. Right? And I want your feed to start feeding you. No dinners, dogs, or cats in there. Shoes are allowed. And this is one I made up. So you become the company you keep. You remember that, right? And I remember my mother saying that to me years ago. What are you hanging out with? And I used to go, oh my God. But I can tell you now, you become the company you keep. And I have seen people who I can spot their company and I can start to see sort of similar characteristics in them. So everything is influencing you and you're absorbing that day in, day out. You are the only one who can control this because you know what you're absorbing and who you're influencing, who you're mixing with day in, day out, right? Anyone can be cool, but awesome takes practice. This doesn't happen easily, right? This is called hard work. The biggest, most difficult thing you will ever change is yourself. But I'm telling you now, it is the most valuable thing you will ever do in your life. And think of that legacy. There's an outcome to this, but only if you put in the work. And the work is getting back into that subconscious mind and replacing it with positive words. Every negative thought you have has to be replaced immediately with 3 positive ones. Right? And I teach people some of these things. I am unapologetically awesome is a very good one. Right? And I want everyone to say it with me. Just as you've said it today, so you'll do it again for me later in the car. I am unapologetically awesome. Right? Now, how does that feel? Okay? You need loads of that. You have no idea how much of that you need, right? Because we have a whole lifetime of negative stuff in here. We need to work so hard on the positive stuff. So that's one of them. But I am worthy is a massive one. I deserve an amazing life is another one. Right? So up to you, lot. Right? I've given you as much as I can in the short time I have. So there's your seeds. It's up to you to water them and grow them. Can't do that for you. But anyone can be cool, but the awesome takes practice. Now, that's it.